Hello, my name is Coach Claire, or you can call me Claire. Welcome to the Risk Management in Trading. I remember when I taught this at a physical training, the first question I asked them was, do you want to make more money than you ever lose in the financial market? And they said yes. And that's the essence of risk management in trading. It helps you make more money than you would ever lose in trading. This is what separates trading from betting, gambling, or anything like that. Because in trading, you can set the amount you're willing to risk, and you can always make sure that you target times two so that at the end of the day, you'll make more money than you will ever lose. So if you're ready to make more money than you lose in the financial market, please stay with me till the end, and I have something for you at the end. What is risk management? Risk management is the practice of protecting your capital by limiting your losses and maximizing gain. What does this mean? It means that risk management is everything you do whenever you're trading to make sure that you limit your losses and then you maximize your gains. And this is what I'll be teaching you today. So the first point I want you to know is that risk management is beyond 0.01 per $100 account. So there's this concept that beginner traders use, and they say that when you have a $100 account, you should use 0.01 lot size. When you have a $200 account, you should use 0.02 lot size. When you have a $300 trading account, you should use 0.03 lot size. For those who don't know what lot size is, think of lot size like the size of, just think of it like the size of a plot of land, or like a lot of capital, a lot of money. It just determines how much risks you're willing to take on a particular trade. So if your lot size is higher, it means that you're making more risks. And then if your lot size is low, it means that you're taking less risks. There's this video on how to use MetaTrader 5 that maybe you find it somewhere on the screen, that I taught on how to input your lot size on MetaTrader 5. If you don't know how to do that, you can watch the video. It explains everything about MetaTrader 5, where you'll be trading on, and how to input this lot size there. So basically, the concept says that when you have $100, the lot size you should use is 0.01. But this doesn't really fully encompass risk management, because you can use 0.01 and still blow your account and still liquidate your account. In trading, when we say blow your account, liquidate your account, we mean lose all your money here. That's what blow your account and liquidate your account means. So you can use 0.01 and still liquidate your account if you don't know the full concept of risk management. So to prevent you ever liquidating your capital in the financial market, you need to pay this is one of the most important concepts in trading. You need to pay absolute attention, have your notepad and pen, and be ready to write and take notes, please. So some people say when you have $100, use 0.01. When you have $200, use 0.02. Why this is true? It doesn't fully encompasses it, because you can use 0.01, and then if you don't have a stop loss which will limit your losses, you can eventually blow your account, even though you're using the least amount of lot size. Like, even though you're using the smallest amount of lot size, you can still blow your account, right? Even if you have a stop loss, but that stop loss is very far away, that if the market continues to go in the opposite direction, it might liquidate your account. So you need to understand the full concept of risk management, and not just know risk management as when I have $100, use 0.01. When I have $200, use 0.02, and the like. This works, but it's not guaranteed. What's guaranteed is what I'll be teaching you today. So what does risk management involve? Risk management involves three things. If you're writing, this is a good time to write. It's called risk knowledge, risk acceptance, and aim times 2. The simplest way I can break risk management into: risk knowledge, risk acceptance, and aim times 2. What does risk knowledge mean? Risk knowledge means knowing exactly how much you're willing to risk before you enter the financial market, right? In trading, there's no victory without risks, right? You can't win in trading if you're not ready to risk anything. So risk knowledge is knowing how much you're willing to risk even before you enter that trade. And then you can know that using lot size calculators like baby pips and the likes. But the fastest way I've found to know your risks is by using limit orders on your MetaTrader. So once you just go to your MetaTrader as if you want to enter the trade, instead of buying immediately, you can just use buy limit. Indicate where you want your stop loss to be, and indicate where you want your take profit to be. If you see where these arrows are pointing, you will know that that's where your stop loss is and that's where your take profit is. So on this example, using MetaTrader 5, on this example here, you can see that the stop loss is 60.24. So if this person loses this trade, they'll be losing just $60. The take profit is $450.87. So if this person wins this trade, they'll be making $450.87. Does that make sense? So you can know your loss or your risks simply by using limit orders on your MetaTrader. So instead of entering immediately, you just click on the icon to set a limit order, then put your buy limit where you want to buy, put your SL where you want your stop loss to be, then put your TP where you want your take profit to be, and you'll be able to see exactly how much you're willing to lose and how much you're willing to risk in the financial market. I hope this is clear. But risk knowledge is basically knowing how much you're willing to risk or lose before you enter or take any trade. And it's very, very important, because if you go to the market and you don't know how much you have or how much you're able to spend, you might end up spending your transport. Do you understand? So if you enter the forex market and you don't know how much you're willing to use to trade for that day, you might end up using all your capital and losing them all. So just like when you go to the market, you know that although I might have 500,000 naira or something, I can't spend everything because I need to keep some for transport. In the same way, in the financial markets, even though you have $100, you can't spend every penny on that day, because if you risk every penny that day and that trade doesn't go right, there will be no money for you to trade the next day. So that's why risk knowledge is important. You knowing how much you're willing to risk on that particular day, so that even if those trading go well that day, you have money to risk tomorrow to make more money, if that makes sense. So that's what risk knowledge is about. And this is how you know your risks or your profits even before you enter a trade. So I'm going to give you a test right now to know if you understood what I said. So on this trade, what's the risk and the reward of this sell trade? So the previous one was a buy limit and this is a sell limit. So instead of entering sell immediately, this person is taking a sell limit just to know how much they're okay with risking before they even enter the trade. So yeah, to do this on your MetaTrader 5 or MetaTrader 4, whichever one you use, you'd simply click on this icon that this arrow is pointing at, this circle icon that is blue and red on the right, on the top right. So this icon is where you click on and you'll be able to set your limits or your sell or buy order. Once you click on it, it will pop up below. Then you can tap it to change it to whichever you want, whether sell limit or buy limit. As simple as that. So on this trade, where you see SL and where you see take profits, SL is what the person is willing to risk on this trade. So if this trade doesn't go in their favor, they'll risk $40. And if you guessed right, TP is how much the person will make on this trade. So if the trade goes in their favor, they'll make $300. That's it on risk knowledge. We'll be going to the next one, which is risk acceptance. Risk acceptance is basically accepting your risks even before you enter the trade. So it prevents you from pacing around like this man and just wondering, oh my god, or having heart attacks or having your heart beat. It just gives you so much peace of mind. When you have $100, you know that okay, on this trade I'm only risking like $5. You'll be able to go to sleep and enjoy your day because you know that it's just $5, compared to someone that doesn't know about risk knowledge or risk acceptance and they did not put their stop loss. So if that trade doesn't go in their favor, probably they'll be risking the whole $100. So you need to accept your risk and reward even before you enter a trade. That's basically what risk acceptance is. Knowing that okay, I've set my stop loss, I've set my take profit, and I accept whatever result it's happened, and I have peace of mind. You are able to go along with your day, you're able to relax, you're able to do other things, have fun, play, see a movie, whatever you want to do, and let the trade play out. Not that you would now start praying, having hypertension or something because you're in a trade. So risk acceptance remove that fear because you already know how much you're risking and you're okay with it. And that's basically what risk acceptance is. The next and final point is aim for 2 times or more. So let me ask you this question to bring perspective to aiming twice or more. So would you borrow me more money than I'm willing to pay back? If I say, you listening to me right now, give me $100, I might pay you $10 or nothing, right? Would you give me that money? even though we're best friends, or even though we're sisters, or maybe we're strangers, you've never met me before, and I say, give me $100 and I give you $10 back or nothing, will you give me that money? Obviously no, because you won't be willing to give me more money than I'm willing to give you back. So in the financial markets, when trading, your stop loss, your risks should never be more than you're willing to take in the financial market. Because if your risk is always more than your profit, you won't be able to last long term. So if you have $100 and you're risking $50 to make $5, you might make $5 a couple of times, but the day that trade won't go in your favor, you will lose it all. What do I say? You will lose it all. So in trading, your profit should always be times 2 than your risks, right? And this is how trading wisely is different from gambling, because you know that this is how much you're willing to risk, right? And the odds are in your favor when you're aiming for times 2 every time. Because if you risk $5 and you're aiming for $10, if you lose one trade, you only lost $5. If you lose another trade, you've lost $10. But if you win one trade, you've won $10. If you win another trade, you've won $20. So let's say you have a $100 account and your risk is $10 per trade, and you're always aiming for $20 or more. It can be $30, $40, but let's just say $20 or more based on the data from your backtesting. There's a video on how to backtest, which will help you test your strategy and know what works for you best when it comes to risk management and aiming times 2 or whatever number works for you. It should be around the screen. You can watch it after now, or it will be in the description. So yeah, if you have a $100 account and you're always risking $10 to make $20 or more, even if you lose more times, right? Even if you lose 5 times, you will lose only $50. If you win 5 times, you would win $100 because you're aiming for $20 or more per trade. Do you understand? So even if you lose 6 times, which is more times out of 10 than that you would win, let's say you lose 6 times, you're only going to lose $10. You're only going to lose $10 times 6. That's what? $60. And if you win 4 times, which is rare, out of the 10 times you take a trade, you're going to make $80, which is 4 times $20, which you're always aiming. So at the end of the day, you still come out with a profit of $20, because the $80 you make when you win will be more than the $60 you've lost in 6 trades. Do you understand? So aiming 2 times or more gives you an edge in the market, and it also makes more sense because you're not willing to give the market more than the market is or will give you. So look at this example. So your profit should always be more than your risks, basically. The gap is more, right? The gap is more. And then the second one, the stop loss gap is less, if you can look at it. So tell me in the comments why the first one is wrong and the second one is right. So what are the benefits of aiming times 2 or more, and how this is different? How trading wisely is different from gambling. Trading wisely, I would call it good risk management. Trading badly, I'll call it gambling. So bad risks, you have to be right all the time, because if your stop loss is bigger than your take profit, if your win is like $10 and your stop loss is always like $100, you always have to be right all the time, because anytime you're wrong, all your profits will be taken away. For good risks, you have to be right less than half the time, right? You have to be right less than half the time. Just like I explained, if you lose 6 trades, you only lose $60. If you win 4 trades, you've won $80. So less than half the time you have to be right. But when your risk is bad, you always have to be right, because anytime you're wrong, it takes away all your weeks or months of profit. For a bad risk, one bad trade takes it all. Like I already explained, if you lose 1 time, you're going to lose a whole lot of money, because you're always risking very high. For a good risk, 1 trade recovers all the losses. If you have a good risk management, even if you lose 6 times, just 1 or 2 trades is going to recover all your losses, because your take profit is always more or times 2 than your risk. So bad risk equals liquidated accounts, loan accounts, and the likes. Good risk equals more account growth, because you're going to see your accounts grow over time from $10 to $20, regardless of if you lose more times. Then The final one is bad risk equals heart attacks. Your heartbeat will be racing fast. You'll be like, oh my god, I have to make this money. I have to win because I'm risking everything on this trade. Right? Somebody told me that she took a trade. He had $400 in account, and the person managing account risked the entire $400 and all and all and all. That can literally lead to a heart attack when you know you're risking everything on one trade. But when you divide that trade into 10, I know that per trade you're just risking only $40. You can have peace of mind knowing that even if this trade doesn't go well, even if the next one doesn't go well, even if the next 10 trades doesn't go well, I know that at the end of 10 trades, I would still come out profitable, right? That's the benefit of good risk. It gives you peace of mind. That's it. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you have any question, you can simply drop a comment or scan the QR code to reach me for this document or to ask questions. And if you want a strategy that will help you risk less, win more at the end of the day, and have better win rates, you can simply join our trading academy. The link will also be in the description. If you have any questions, drop a comment, and bye for now.